Hello, good morning, good evening, and welcome to Bigg World Cinema. Without further ado, we'll continue with what you're here for. And to ensure this channel survives, please don't skip the ads. Thank you. I've been using dating websites for years. Can't say for how long exactly because it's lodged too far back in my memory. I've probably chatted to hundreds of women. Well, I use the word women quite fluidly. Not because today there are more than two sexes. I consider myself genderless. Or I consider myself genderless. But because a lot of the women online are actually hairy-assed guys from Europe. I'd know, as I've met one. Chatted on the phone to him, pretending to be a lady, as if he's going to be able to part me from my vast YouTube earnings by posting a few sexy photos of a buxom chick. I'm not that shallow. A scammer's a scammer, but there's a difference between the amateur online Filipina wanting you to send them Gcash or load versus international scammers who make big bucks. When I first started using Filipino Cupid and Pina Love, I'd scour different locations around the Philippines and noticed certain irregularities. The same girl with different names appearing in two different cities on the same day. Or photos of the same girl online with two different names. Or the same two girls always appearing next to each other, appearing to log in at the same time every day. Don't assume that the girl you think is in the photograph is actually that girl, or is a girl. So I'm going to get commenters saying, stay away from the dating sites, they're just full of scammers. Sure, they are full of scammers, but they're also full of girls wanting to date foreigners. As my new buddy in Manila will verify, having spent the past couple of months having multiple dates purely from the dating websites and been getting jiggy with it big time. So advising people to blanket ban dating websites is pretty poor advice actually, as this young, at 45, new swinger in town is demonstrating. Certainly puts to shame my experiences of when I first arrived in the Philippines. So my first scammer story dates back over 3 years. I need to state this clearly, as some viewers don't pay attention to fine details. To save any misunderstandings, I'm putting the date in the top corner. It's like when you're watching Wimbledon live and suddenly Bjorn Borg will appear on screen with a wooden racket and viewers are saying, oh, is Borg playing again this year? Not realising that rain has stopped play and they're showing repeated footage from the 1970s. So I'm nicking Wimbledon's replay button idea. There you go. It was March 2020. I'd arrived in Cebu a few weeks earlier, but now the world had ended and lockdown had just been enforced. The only way of communicating with girls was online. This would have been the ideal time to abort my search, as I couldn't meet them anyway, but I still had a fortnight's subscription left on Filipino Cupid. I came across Adele, who I'd messaged on Date in Asia 2 months earlier, who'd immediately sent through 3 sexy photographs of her breasts falling out of her blouse, saying she wanted to be my woman. At the time, I'd been sitting at Bangkok immigration waiting to get my visa extended, and I remembered the stirrings those images provoked. Adele was now calling herself Ellie Jane and sent me her number, so we began messaging on Viber. I asked her to send some new images. There was a 6-hour delay before she sent through 5 selfies. She had a young, toothy smile. Her age was listed as 30, but she looked around 18. What struck me as odd later was a brown purse that lay on the bed in the first set of photographs, but sat on her lap in the second set, as if she never went anywhere without her brown purse. But the pretty, innocent face and the large breasts reeled me in big time. Said I'd like to visit her in Davao. Is that okay? I was playing devil's advocate, checking her reaction, imagining these images were probably sent to every guy online. Yes, she said. We continued a disjointed conversation about lockdown and supper. And then came the loaded question. Can I ask you a little favour of mobile load? Not today, I replied. Why, baby? She said. Maybe you'll disappear, baby. No, baby. I will going to use it for my internet so that we can have a good and strong communication. Why are you worried? I'll do it tomorrow for you, I responded. Naturally, I was dubious of Ellie Jane's motives, but vloggers had suggested it was no harm sending a girl you're chatting with a small amount of money to load their phone. The following day, Ellie Jane asked to see more photographs of me, which I sent her. Am I handsome enough for you? I said. Yes, you are enough in me. Thank you for your picture. Said she was at home as there was no work now and asked what I was doing. Said I was sitting outside in Cebu in the sunshine. So what us your plan about the mobile load that I asked to you? She said. I'm outside now, I said. I will do when back at the condo later. She immediately sent through 15 images. Appeared to be in a dining hall with nobody else around. She told me she worked in a school canteen, so that would add up. Repeatedly sending images of her glorious assets was intoxicating. She certainly knew how to press the right buttons, especially with me. But the images of her looking like a beauty queen made me question her gender. Will you want to have children? I asked. How about you? I don't know yet. Can you have children? I want one kid. I was trying to keep my cool, still debating if she wanted a relationship or just my money. That evening I had another date. Most girls wouldn't come out because of the coronavirus, but Charmaze worked in IT Park. She was 24, had a 5-month-old baby, obviously. We arranged to meet at 5 p.m. outside the building where she worked. I told her to text me when she was on her way, but I still arrived there dutifully at 5:15, like an idiot. At 5:54, Charmaze texted to say she was on her way, stuck in Canon with traffic and checkpoints. I went across to Starbucks for a nice lemon tea, then returned to my spot. I should have paid attention to Gio, who said never leave your condo until they tell you they've arrived at the meeting place. At 6:34, Charmaze sent a selfie from the jeepney. On her profile she was blonde and very cute, but now had black hair. When she arrived just before 7, she looked dumpy, her small round shoulders barely wider than the size of her head. Immediately we bumped into her work colleague, an 18-year-old gay male, as if it had been pre-arranged. The three of us walked around looking for a place that was open to eat. Shugbo Mercado food court had been closed down, so only takeaway was available. We ordered food at one place, then ordered desserts at another, so we could use their outside table. I didn't fancy Charmaze at all. The gay guy was entertaining, Shamaze offered to pay for my food as she'd kept me waiting, but he didn't make any effort to contribute. Naturally, it was expected of me to pay for the whole lot, as I'm a rich foreigner and they earned $14 for an 8-hour shift. Not per hour, per shift. But why should I pay for his meal? I paid for the two of us and told Shamaze to pay for his meal instead. What was I doing here? Just showed how desperate I was for a date. I hadn't had sex since I'd been in Thailand a year earlier. Back at the condo, I immediately video called Ellie Jane. I needed to know if she was real or a scammer. Naturally, she didn't answer, but sent a message saying she didn't have good internet. Asked me to send load again. Told her I'd never done it before. I was new here and didn't know the procedure. Same here, she said. Maybe you could try to send some funds to buy a load and my personal necessities. Is that okay to you? She told me her name and address. I asked if she'd received funds before. My aunt and uncle, they work abroad. I'm living here in my another aunt. Said she was serious about me and wasn't in the dating site anymore. True. I'd noticed her profile was no longer on Filipino Cupid. I asked where she wanted to visit in the Philippines. Said she'd never left Mindanao and would like to visit Cebu, Bohol and Boracay. I asked her when she would go back to work. Maybe in opening again of school. When's that? I asked. Baby, is that okay to you if I ask you 6,000 pesos, my love? It depends, my love, because the student... It depends, my love, because the student, they still need the final exam is not yet done. It also depends on the government. After that, it's vacation. The graduation day, I think, is coming April 15. I ignored her request for money. The finance issue was as much on her mind as her breasts were on mine. The previous time my mate Brian in the UK had FaceTimed me, he'd asked, "Wouldn't you like to have a girlfriend for a couple of months?" The idea of seeing Ellie Jane's sexy body in bikinis around the islands formulated in my desperate head. I suggested to her that when lockdown ended in mid-April, how wrong was I, that we could go to Boracay. Yes, is that okay with me? Ellie Jane sent a new photo. I knew what normally followed an image. So, attempting to distract her, I sent her one of the images in drag, which had baffled me, and asked if it was for a performance. I join pageant sometimes. So, my love, is that okay, the 6,000 pesos that I asked you? Followed by another big kiss and hearts. Told her I couldn't afford that much. I can send you 2,000 pesos. Can you try to make it 3,000 pesos, my love? No. It's okay, my love. I checked flights to Boracay, found a couple on Air Asia for 900 pesos at the end of April, and asked Ellie Jane for her date of birth. She suggested we wait to see how COVID panned out. Fortunately, I awoke with a clearer head, scared to switch on my phone, knowing that Ellie Jane would have already sent a message asking if I'd sorted out her funds yet. I really didn't want her to be a scammer. I wanted Ellie Jane to be my holiday girlfriend with her generous assets. Her breasts may have perked my interest, but I was also pretty savvy with money matters. Sat on my sunny balcony with pastries, replaying yesterday's conversation and continual requests for cash. I was pretty in tune now. At 11:30 I received the good morning text, followed 75 minutes later by, "Hello my love, what's now about the help that I ask?" I responded with my tale of the Filipino date who just wanted load for her phone. My love, I want to be with you. You know that. I'm not there in the dating site anymore. Which were followed by 2 new selfies in a low-cut blouse. Really? Yes, I did not back there because I meet you. Looking through Dating Asia that morning, I'd noticed Adele was online using the same photos as Ellie Jane had on Filipino Cupid. What about Dating Asia? I was happy that I need you, said Ellie Jane. But you're online now. Are you sure? Yes, Adele, on Dating Asia. How about you? Talk a lot of woman, I think. You are really jealous, baby. Later that day, Ellie Jane or Adele told me it was raining in Davao. I asked her for a photo, so she sent a photo of rain falling outside our house. Then I asked her for a selfie pointing at the sky. She said it wasn't easy to take a selfie photo. Yes it is, I said, sending a selfie of myself pointing at the camera. So you don't trust me? No, you're a robot. It's up to you, she said. He, I said. It's up to you, she said. He, robot, I replied. You said you were going to help me as you promised, she said, sending the photo that I just sent her of me pointing at the sky, as if that was her. The robot had completely lost the plot now. For the next couple of days, Ellie Jane tried engaging, but I didn't respond. The person behind the computer had played her role quite well, of a young, caring school canteen assistant, saying she wasn't sure how the transfer of money process worked. I imagine other guys readily sending money. Well, I hope it wasn't just me. Embarrassingly, I'd actually considered sending 2,000 pesos to keep in contact. Almost falling for the scam. For a hot-blooded male to be bombarded with images of bountiful breasts, she almost sucked me in. So desperate was I to take a bikini babe to Boracay. The day after I'd uncovered Ellie Jane stroke Adele, I caught another scammer in the act. Having exchanged WhatsApp numbers with Janella, another buxom beauty on Filipino Cupid, her WhatsApp profile photo revealed an image of a white male sat on a chair in front of a computer screen. As soon as we started messaging on WhatsApp, Janella bombarded me with a dozen sexy images. Oh, here we go. This feels familiar, I thought. You're a beautiful lady, I said. Thank you. What are you looking? Full stop. Here. Looking for a wife. How about you? Looking for, full stop, honest man, full stop, baby. But hope you serious. Yes, I'm honest and serious, I said. How I know if you delete your Cupid, I delete mine? I will delete it after we meet up. Meet up where? I'll come and see you in Negros after lockdown. When? No question mark. Okay, but want you to help me something to eat. Sure, I replied. Send me a selfie first. Janella bombarded me with another 10 sexy photos. Send one of you pointing at the camera, I said, enclosing his photograph and the word scammer beneath it. Who that? Said Janella. That's you, scammer. Why? Full stop. That guy, full stop. Honesty, I think he is serious, full stop, with me, full stop, because I think, full stop, he is the one my dreams, full stop. Guy, full stop, I found, full stop, broken. Then he video called me, although all I could see was darkness. He sounded like he was from Northern Europe, vaguely trying to disguise his male voice. Where you get that photo? Who is it? It's you, scammer, I shouted before he ended the call. Seconds later, the guy changed his WhatsApp profile image to a photograph of Janella. Bit of a schoolboy error on his part, but a clear unveiling of what a scammer looks like and how they operate. So fast forward 2 years to August 2022. I'm older now. I'm wise to all these scammer tricks. I'll never have some hairy-ass guy parading as a hot young psychology 22-year-old Pinay living in Talisai extract me from my hard-earned pesos. Awake early one morning, I got chatting with Veronica on OkCupid. She was a psychology student, 22 years old, lived in Talisai. We started chatting on the OkCupid website before transferring to WhatsApp. Veronica sent through 4 photos of herself, plus a screenshot which showed thumbnails of a range of videos, which she says are videos of her selling women's clothing and bikinis on Facebook Marketplace. Said she had plans to open a physical store soon. We chatted on WhatsApp for around 45 minutes. It was all very jovial banter. Nothing robotic. Nothing that made me think this is a scammer and not an attractive psychology student from Talisai running a part-time sideline. I went back to sleep, then continued chatting with Veronica around 9 AM. Asked her plans for the day. She said she had lectures and also may have some Facebook orders. We chatted for another 45 minutes, talked about her family. Said she lived with her mum, grandparents and 6 younger siblings, with the older sister at 24 already moved out and had 3 children. Veronica said she had to go as her online class started soon, but added, "Can you ding me real quick? If it's fine, I'll just ding you back later on my noon break. Just 100 regular." "What's that all about?" I asked. She wanted load for her phone, so I sent it. I know. Do not send money to people online until you've met them in person. That's the advice I always give out anyway. Ha, but I know guys who regularly send load to the girls that they're chatting to online. Veronica wasn't like all the others. 10 minutes later, she said that Globe had just deducted 60 pesos. She couldn't register to the promo. Could I send her 100 more? So I did. Sucker. Later that afternoon, Veronica messaged me saying her online class was just finishing. We talked about Freud and Foucault. She asked how to return the load favour. I suggested we meet for a drink. "Yeah, that would be great," she said. Then she disappeared. Never for 1 minute did I think she was a scammer. At least I only parted with $4. Could have been worse. But after Ellie Jane, I'd have been wise to Veronica asking for a large amount. Whereas Ellie Jane was asking for payment every 5 minutes, Veronica abided her time, sucked me in. Her texts were real rather than robotic and nonsensical. Made me think she really was a 22-year-old psychology student from Talisai. That's how convincing she was. Just a quick reminder to please click the thumbs up button if you liked the video, or thumbs down button if you didn't, obviously. Thank you. I don't deal with girls on WhatsApp now. Girls too keen to give out their WhatsApp numbers are probably scammers. I always ask for their Facebook Messenger or Insta profile. Most Filipinas will have at least 2 Facebook accounts. If they say they don't have Facebook, I don't believe them. I video call them now. If they reject your call a few times, then that's a huge red flag. I know now. I'm aware of their tricks, aware of their games. I know about the scammers now. I won't get fooled again. Isn't that a song? Too right it is. Here at BWC, Uncle doesn't charge a subscription fee like Auntie does, but buying us a coffee would be much appreciated. Thank you. If you liked the video, please could you like, share and subscribe. And don't forget to ding the notification bell to see my videos before your friends. See you on the next video. Take care everyone.